Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Portsmouth Coffee Talks morning show. And every day we rise is a great day to be alive. And hold on just 1 minute. Let me. Sorry, I had to let my other host on. But
Good
anyway,
morning.
we're here this morning, and this is what we call the host open mic, and what it gives the host an opportunity to bring up whatever's on their mind at this time. And Colonel, I want to start with you. Good morning, Leah. How you
Good
doing?
morning.
Colonel, I want to start with you, but before you start, I just want to play this, and I think you all might enjoy this. I'm sure you all seen this, but this is our favorite, one of our favorite sons.
Week, he said that he won Wisconsin falsely, Senator. So again, to the point, you voted to certify the election results of 2020. It's the exact opposite of what you said and did after 2020. Why would you want to be on a ticket with someone where there's such a fundamental difference?
There is clear facts here. President Trump himself said he expects this election to be fair, he expects it to be honest, and he expects to win. That's what the presidential candidate should expect, and I expect the exact same thing. And frankly, the American people agree with him. This is an issue that is not an issue, so I'm not going to make it an issue.
But Senator, will you commit to accepting the election results of 2024? Bottom line.
At the end of the day, the 47th president of the United States will be President Donald Trump, and I'm excited to get back to low inflation, low unemployment.
Wait, Senator, yes or no? Yes or no? Will you accept the election results of 2024 no matter who wins?
That is my statement.
Just yes or no? Will you accept the election results of 2024?
I look forward to President Trump being the 47th president. Kristen, you could ask him multiple times.
Senator, just a yes or no answer.
So the American people will make the decision.
That's enough of that,
Yeah, we've had enough of that. That's for
I
sure.
just thought that was interesting. And later on, I'll play some other people, and all of these guys that are saying that or doing that are in line to be possible vice president candidates. So they're not coming off. So Colonel, with the open mic, you can either address that or start with something else that might be on your mind this morning. All of us have an open mic to come with whatever we feel like this morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. So
Good morning.
yeah, so the interviewer was trying to interview Senator Scott, or better known as Buckwheat. So Buckwheat is not she softballed, and that's the easiest question out there, but he can't answer it. And then that should tell anybody about everything about the Republican Party and what it exists today. They don't care about democracy. They cannot openly speak the truth of what will they do? Will they uphold democracy when it comes down to in 2024? Because they are all praying and bending the knee at Orange Jesus for the Republican Party, meaning Donald Trump, the former twice indicted or twice impeached, 88 counts of felonies and so on and so forth.
No, it's an unfair election, I think.
Yes. And then so Buckwheat, I don't even know why we listen to Buckwheat, because he's not going to be picked up as a vice president running mate for the traitor Trump, because one, he is black and he's a male and he has not come out yet. So and he's got that phony engagement going in. But I do have a comment that President Biden spoke truth in Detroit for the NAACP dinner. And he said, imagine, if you will, on January 6th, if those were black folks going to the Capitol and doing that kind of shenanigans, trying to overthrow the government. If they were black folks, imagine what Trump would have done. I would tell you right now, that everybody talks about one, they couldn't get forces in, they tried to call up the National Guard, this and that. But they have each one of those departments, State Department has a strike force down there. They could have put 50 to 100 guys in uniform down there. Department of Treasury has a strike force. FBI have a strike force. These are rapid deployable folks that when the president goes out, he's got a couple hundred people in black suits and snipers and all that other crap. They could have done that and stopped all the shenanigans down at the Capitol without calling in the National Guard. What they said, that was the only force available. So we need to, one, tell the truth. But getting back to the first issue is, if it was black folks down there on the Capitol, you probably would have been burying it at least 300 to 400 people. You would have been burying them today, because it would have been outright, no warning, mow them down, point blank. Yes, I did say it. Trump would have mowed them down, and if he comes back into the office, peaceful protests now in America will stop. He's already said that. There will be no protesting, especially against him. You'll either, if you're lucky, you'll make it to the jail, but it'll be outright being able for the National Guard or any police force to shoot you down without saying, because you were protesting, and that is it. No judgment, no nothing. There will be the judge, jury, and executioner, especially if you're people of color. I open up the table.
Yeah. Leah, the mic is passed to you.
Well, what can I say about Tim Scott? Tim is just, there are no words. There are no words to express. The days of having to buck and bow are over. And he just has not realized that the time has come that we can speak truth to power, and we can still be respected as men and as women. As the Colonel says, Tim has so many things going on with him that has not come to light yet. So he's trying to do all that he can to be this guy's vice president, which he will never be. He will never be selected as the vice president for Donald Trump. And you know what kind of person he is when he turned on Nikki Haley, the person who actually got him started in Congress. She is the one who appointed him, and he turned on her in order to please that guy. And it just tells you he's a man of no character. He has no character at all. And to put a person of no character in as vice president, it is sinful, it's shameful. If something should happen to Trump, I cannot see this guy running the country. There's no way. There's no way that he can run America with no character, no standards. I mean, he's just purely at a no status as far as I'm concerned. So that's all I got to say about that Tim Scott guy.
And Lewis, before you go, listen to this and see what you think about this guy.
Accept the election results of 2024, no matter what happens, Senator.
No matter what happens? No, if it's an unfair election, I think it's going to be contested by each side.
Senator, no matter who wins.
I think you're asking the wrong person. The Democrats are the ones that have opposed every Republican victory since 2000. Every single one. It's
no Democrat has refused to concede. Hillary Clinton conceded. Senator, will you accept the election results?
Hillary Clinton said the election was stolen from her and that Trump was illegitimate. Kamala Harris agreed.
Senator,
we have Democrats now.
Senator, she conceded the election.
She said that Trump was illegitimate. She said that the election had been stolen. Kamala Harris agreed. By the way, there are Democrats serving in Congress today who in 2004 voted not to certify the Ohio electors because they said those machines have been tampered with. And you have Democrats now saying they won't certify 2024 because Trump is an insurrectionist and ineligible to hold office. So you need to ask them. I think you've had I've never asked a Democrat this question on your show. I bet you've never asked a Democrat that question.
See, that's like living in Portsmouth and going to New Jersey to get to Norfolk.
Yeah.
And never getting to Norfolk. So he never answered the question. So I'm just paying these are everybody's saying the same thing. And one of the things people have to remember, these guys voted to certify the election last time when Trump was asking for them not to, but they voted to certify it. And now they're skipping around, even saying that they will only if he wins will they certify. So it's like if he wins, there was nothing wrong. So I just want people to listen to this. But go ahead, Louis, you got the mic.
Tracy, before you go, listen, they're like the male Stepford wives. You remember the show, The Stepford Wives, where all the women had to have the same kind of houses, they wore the same kind of clothes, they did the same. They are male Stepford wives. That's what they are.
Sorry, Leah, I think you just got in my head. Leah just took my words from me, because I was going to say the same thing, because that's exactly what they are, Stepford wives, and they don't even call them men. Call them Stepford wives, because that's exactly what they are. You saw them all go to the courthouse, all dressed like Trump. I mean, you unpack so much stuff in this morning. It's just like, you remember I sent you the note saying Tim Scott, he just makes me sick. When I see him on TV, I automatically get sick. I want to throw up. You know, I have a bucket next to me when he comes on TV. Cause I know he's gonna say something stupid, and he never fails. He say something stupid. So, and I sent him the note. I said, this guy makes me sick. Now, it's a shame in this day and time, 2024, that you have somebody buck dancing like Tim Scott. He's an insult to, like I always say, he's a waste of black skin. So let's move on to Rubio. The Rubio, this is disgusting to me, is that Rubio and Ted Cruz, Donald Trump insulted both their wives. Now, Rubio's wife is very attractive. Ted Cruz, she's so-so, but I'm not going to talk bad about the woman. She's so-so, but Rubio's wife is very attractive. Donald Trump talked about her like a dog. And as I say to people all the time, any man that allows another man to insult his wife, he's not a man. And then to do it on national TV is even more insulting. And now you can go and kiss this man's ring. I would say something else if we was on another station, but you know what I want to say. You cannot do that. That is the worst thing that you can do, is insult a man's wife. Period. Much less on national TV, at conventions and things of that nature. So you have a bunch of men. No, I don't want to call them men. I want to call them sucker punts. You have a bunch of male sucker punts who will do anything and everything just to stay in power, and it is disgusting on a male level. It is disgusting on the if you believe in the Constitution of the United States, and I'm beginning to wonder now, is that even worth the piece of paper is written on? That you have these people like Marjorie Taylor Greene doing the shenanigans that she do, breaking every form of decorum that's ever been introduced into the legislature, and she's an insurrectionist. These people shouldn't even be sitting there making any kind of decisions in Congress, especially the Congress people. 121 of those folks, I think it was 6 or 7 of them, refused to certify. That tells you right there. I mean, I guess I don't even know. Sometimes I wonder, are we in a bad dream? Are we living in a fake reality that so much ignorance can go around and people don't raise up? And I say this last thing, then I'm move on. You know, people get mad at me often, and I don't care. But I say they say you're so passionate about what's going on with Trump. You preoccupied. Matter of fact, a local minister called me out yesterday on his service because I have been berating them for over 7 years now to do the thing that I talked to you about before. So he called me out on his service. And that point I keep making to him is, y'all should be as outraged as I am. And I'm still upset that more Americans are not outraged at this foolishness that we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we talk about these issues so much. And if people think you talk about that a lot, but what about all the talking points we hear all the time from the Republicans? So somebody has to counter them and come back with some common sense and try to get people to just open their eyes and see what's going on. And that's why we talk about it so much. And Colonel, I'll go to you next, but we talk. I let you hear too, men, even women. That the white women who have a very important vote, last election and in this election too, but listen to them too.
Legal and valid election. What we're seeing so far is that Democrats are so desperate, they're trying to remove President Trump from the ballot. That is a suppression of the American people, and the Supreme Court is taking that case up in February. That should be a 9-0 to allow President Trump to appear on the ballot, because that's the American people's decision to make this November. And the matter is, of course, halted pending that appeal, as you say. But just to be very clear, I don't hear you committed to certifying the election results. Will you only commit to certify the results if former President Trump wins? Does that mean former President Trump wins? No, it means if they are constitutional. What we saw in 2020 was unconstitutional circumventing. Mr. Trump, his allies did take their case, their concerns about the election to court more than 60 times. They lost every time. Mr. Trump hired 2 independent firms to investigate that.
And no matter how much they throw the facts out there in front of them, people are blind to it. I was looking at a video the other night where these guys go to these Trump rallies, and some of them right out say that they are, journalists, and some of them try to appear to be Trumpers, so they can get more out of the people. One guy had a Trump picture of Trump on his hat, but and how crazy they were. He was berating them right in their face. He was saying stuff to them, and they were agreeing to it, and it was just. How stupid and you understand why they voting for Trump, because, he was just saying stuff, and getting information from them. Yeah, making stuff up, and they were agreeing to it, so if he can stand there and make stuff up, of course, they all drinking the Kool-Aid. But Colonel, go ahead.
Well,
I don't know if you had something to say about
that's important that you said that point that a reporter has to go in disguise and to say I'm a Trumper to get into a Trump rally or anywhere near Trump to ask any kind of question, because you are not, the free press is not allowed into a Trump rally. And if they do, they take their own lives into their own hands and nobody will talk to them. So you have to go in disguise. So all these Trump rallies that they have out here is nothing but propaganda sessions by Comrade Trump. That's all it is. It's pure propaganda. People that are either they're Trumpers, the MAGA people, and some of them are also paid to be there and ridden around, flown in the jets, and come in there to wear that cheap Trump gear and Trumps for blacks and all this other crap, or blacks for Trump signs, and you'll see the same people behind
same people. And
it's all about staging, because you have to get it. He has learned a lot by being on TV with the Apprentice show. Is how you stage people, and the American people is dumb enough, and people, especially the people that watch Fox, they're so dumb that they can't see through it. And you might as well say Fox News is more. Actually, they are the same as Russian TV in America. All they do is support the GOP. That is not a free and fair press, but they are a propaganda wing of the GOP, the Grand Old Party, or the Confederate Party, or however you want to call them. And people don't need to watch them, because you can't get anything new from them. If you even turn to them, I look at one of the things that Trump talked about oh, you see how the stock market is flying up when I'm in here? And this was Obama's economy. Now, just over the week, Friday, the Dow went over 40,000 points. First time ever. Highest ever. Highest ever. A few months ago, Trump was saying if you re-elect or Biden, the stock market's going to collapse. Collapse to the highest ever, for one. And you know, he never says a thing about that anymore. That issue is done.
No, Colonel, he now says that the stock market went up because they know that he will be the next president of the United States. That was his latest statement.
Yeah, people believe that. And about the stock market, you know, a lot of people are involved with it, Colonel, and a lot of people are not. So would that resonate to people that are not involved in the stock market? Where do we have to go to reach the people that's going to go out there and vote? Because it seems like the messaging like that sounds good to somebody who's not involved in the stock market. So they're going to believe that Trump might have something to do with it, unless they are involved like you are and a lot of people are, and know the deal, know the real deal. But not everybody's involved like that, you know, as far as the stock market is concerned. So some of that might be going over their head as far as, you know, how much Trump has to do. I mean, not Biden has to do with that. I mean, he's in office. So you gauge these things about what happens when you're in office, or what happened when you came in, or what was going on when you came in, and what happened while you were there, and what happens when you leave. So, you know, I'm just perplexed, just like Lewis, you said, you know, about a dream. It seemed like a episode from the Twilight Zone.
Absolutely.
You know, where you know, you sit here and you watch and you can't believe, for one thing, and we say this all the time, that he is, you know, he is the guy that's running for president. Especially after he has been there. You know, maybe in the beginning, the first time, people didn't know what they're getting and say, okay, we just want change. We just want something different. But he's been there and effed up. And here we come back. Here he comes back again with all this baggage. And still is in the running.
but you see, this is the thing that it will not resonate in my brain. I mean, I've been trying to scramble my brain myself. I mean, sometimes I think I should hit myself against the wall for maybe the stupid come in. It seems like you have to have a certain. I can't lower myself to be that stupid. That we allow these kind of things to keep going by, and people don't resonate with it. Like for example. As we're talking now, I got some information coming in from Uncle Tom, who I was debating last night, and I challenged him $6,000 if he would show up and debate me with your Trump facts. And I've been offering this now since 2014. No one has taken me up on it. You know why? Because they know if they're in public, and they have to answer Trump facts. I say the debate is Trump facts, your area. So you should win. Come and debate me. I offer every form. I even told them they could pick their own judges. Since 2014, no one has taken the $6,000. So I sent the message to the guy, because he put out a lot of stuff on another site last night at 11:30 at night. Put on a site thinking that, you know, he can get away with saying all the crap that he was saying. And I was just about ready to go to bed. I was just about ready to go to bed. And then I say, you know, because, you know, I use a lot of French. So I basically told him at 6 a.m. in the morning, put up or shut up. But I didn't say it that way, because you people never want to come to a public forum and stand by your stuff. And this is the thing that we just got to, I just simply cannot understand the American people today, that the American people before 2014, I really don't understand it. I want to say this quick thing about the rallies. Very few people black people have actually been to a Trump rally and seen it. I'm one of those few people. I'm tell you why I'm few, because most of the time I'm the only one there. But I want to say this real quickly, is that everything that the colonel said is so 1,000% true. It's ridiculous. When I went to the CPAC 2 years ago when he was here, you could see them herding in African Americans to come. And I get right in people's faces. And I'm looking right at these people. And I say, what the F are you doing here? And then I think I told you on one of the shows that the kids say, oh, they pay us to come. They put them up. Have you ever been to the hotel at the Harbor Place where they have the MGM Grand? It's a fantastic hotel. They put them up in a room and they feed them. They were playing pool. Young people were playing pool. I walked over there and I said to them, I said, how much do they pay y'all to get there? And then one of the bigger teenagers came over and said, don't say anything. Don't say nothing. Don't say anything. No, all of them shut up. Did not one of them say anything. And they heard these young people and they heard these criminal blacks, because half the black people that you see behind Trump have criminal records. They can't even be invited to the White House. And a lot of people don't know that. And these people, they go to halfway houses, and like they did in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, herd out black folks, give them liquor, maybe buy them some McDonald's, and they'll come out there and say anything that you want to say.
Okay, let's take it to the Speaker of the House. I think the last show we had, Colonel, was you and I. We talked about how the Democrats saved him from getting out there, and we thought probably that was a good thing because it kept the Congress from being shut down without having a Speaker of the House. So, and I have to rethink that because it probably would have been good for them. I mean, not for them not to support him, because if the House was shut down, what are they doing anyway? Except, having clown shows. So then he really, after the Democrats saved him, then he really, he showed his colors he already had by going to the Trump trial, like it was mentioned earlier here. And standing there with everybody else with the red ties on, they really showing themselves with the red ties, and some other things he's done, just like a slap in the face, oh dear, thanks for saving me, but I'm still trumping for Trump, So it's probably not going to come up again, but that was just crazy. I guess nobody was surprised from the beginning, because you see reports about how he tries to have this soft image, but behind the scenes, he's calculating, and he's all for Trump. And again, just like going to Trump's house, what Speaker of the House would go that far to support a sitting candidate, and you're supposed to be representing the House and the people. So he goes to the trial, puts off something that was going on, should have been going on in Congress, put it off so they had to come back and be there late at night, putting off important business. And I don't think that was important business because what they were trying to do. But whatever, they had to sit there and wait for those guys to come back because they're going to go there and stand behind Trump. That's on trial. The best thing to do is try to get far away from him as you can. But
you would think,
but I mean, Leah, what do you think? I mean, I guess we always thought that the Speaker of the House Johnson was bad news, but he keeps showing it, and that last event, the Democrats saved him because they thought, they thought it might be the best thing. It was the best thing to do. If you look at it right now, best thing to do at the time, because they didn't want the government to shut down because you have no speaker. And plus he had supported something that they were trying to do, but then he comes right back and say, okay, I'm still for Trump, and I don't care who knows.
I was trying to find the terminology that the person used on yesterday. Someone who knew him. It was a cowboy terminology that he used about
Oh,
Stephen
he'll
Johnson.
make you smile.
And he
So
make
when
you
you punch him in
smile,
the, so when you
and he
punch him
and then if, when he punch you in your mouth, you won't bleed.
you won't bleed from the
When
lips.
you knock your teeth out, you won't bleed because he. Oh, I see. And you know, they say he comes like a lion in sheep's clothing. You know, he's a deceptor. He's a definite deceptor, and he. I mean, it's who he is, and he's just showing you. I am who I am. You know, he is who he's always been. He's always been an insurrectionist. He was part of the group that planned the entire thing. He's always been a Trumpster. So I mean, I can understand the Democrats feeling the need to do that in hopes, because you don't know what you're going to get. If you at least this devil you know that you have. Anybody, you could have a Marjorie Taylor Greene. My God, could you imagine her as Speaker of the House? It's a sad thing, but you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know. No decent Republican would want to be the Speaker of the House amongst those individuals who are serving in the Republican Party in the House at this time. So you don't know what you would have had if they had not put him back on.
But the Democrats were just trying to do what was in the best interest, you know, of the United States. And it's just like nursing a snake back to health. And once he got well enough, once he got over, you know, not being put off, he turned around and bit him right in the butt.
That's right. Just like a snake, you know. Snake bites you the first time, what you didn't know? Snake bites you the second time. Hey, I don't know.
Well, you're correct. Yeah, one thing the Democrats had to take a bullet, because you don't know who you're going to get, but you know for one thing that it will be a MAGA, somebody worse than Speaker Johnson.
Exactly.
Somebody will be much, much worse. And you won't get any kind, well, you're not getting any kind of good legislation out of them, because all the good bills that have come out that have made it to the Senate and through have been written by the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Colonel, what did they give us? They gave us the refrigerator bill. Could you imagine? Yeah. Could you imagine?
Well, but it never went anywhere. All the stuff that they passed now, it doesn't even get a vote in the Senate, because it's all ludicrous. It's all crap. And so if you look back at it, everybody says, and the data is out there, this is the most least effective, worst run Congress in our nation's history.
Ever.
And the American people need to see that nothing as good is happening from them. And it all stopped after, it all started when the Republicans took over, because they don't know how to govern. They don't care about governing. They don't care about America. They don't care about anybody except themselves and Orange Jesus. That is it. Mm-hmm. That is it. All these investigations have gotten nowhere. They wanted to end, and they won't get anywhere because there's no substance behind them. There's no real reason why they're doing all this crap, other than what? They either tear down the administration, tear down Biden, go after his family. Nobody else has ever done this in our history of the country. Is go after the president's family, except for these fools that we have in Congress, leading our Congress now, and the MAGA people. Mm-hmm. But I will go back. Yeah,
because I believe you spent time in Germany, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and I keep telling people, keep thinking that this country can't go down. I like to remind everybody, in Germany, when Hitler Party ran for the first time, they only received 5% of the vote. I think it was 4%. And people kept walking around saying, "Oh, he's just crazy Hitler. Nobody ever going to listen to him." The next time they ran, it increased. Then the final time, he ended up taking over. What was going on in Germany at that time was that you know yourself, the Catholic Church was very much a part of Hitler being able to take power, because they looked the other way. Not only did they look the other way, legitimate business people looked the other way.
Mhm.
And the average citizen was just going about their business. So what I see now is what's going on here now. It's like a lot of people going about their business. You know yourself, I've been trying to get the church to step up. Like I said, since 2014, to speak out on this man, as I call it, the ultimate situation here.
Mhm.
And they the ones, I think that the link the weak link that we have in America is the weak link of the greater church standing up and telling America, like you say, we always raised in the church, and they always say, shame the devil. Why aren't they shaming the devil? Why aren't they telling the American people that this man is he could be bringing the apocalypse as far as we know it, and he definitely have all the signs of the devil. And I just can't understand. We always raised in the church, and as I say to these ministers all the time, y'all always preaching to us about wars and battles that happened 3,000 years ago, despots that was 2,000 and 3,000 years ago. Here it is, we have that right now in 2024, and you people are silent about it. And that's why I think is our weakest link, and we need to get the church in this fight. They're not in this fight, and there's no moral imperative with this man. This is why I keep saying we got to have a moral imperative to wake up the American people, because that's what happened in Germany. There was no moral imperative that say, do you see what this man is doing? These people, this man is having Jews beaten up for lunch, for the hell of it. They breaking into these people's stores. They burning these books. And we see this happening in America now. They banning these books. You're taking over the radio stations. You're taking over the TV stations. All that stuff happened while people was going about their business. And then when the takeover is final, you say, how did this happen? It happened because, as I keep telling people, and this is the only bad word I use, because we sat on our ass and let it happen.
And I think we have to be aware of how much power we have, and we talk about how voting is so important. Like when you turn over the Congress to the Republicans, that means all those big committees, they are chairmen of those committees, and you can see how that last one, they don't even know how to control that if it's out of control. So we just have to keep pushing that voting thing. And I don't know what you do there, how you convince people how important it is to vote. Just people, and this, it bothers me just to see how people put so much stock in stuff that's not really important, and you heard me talk about the entertainment thing. We need the entertainment, but to look on the social media or YouTube and see whole conversations about a rap battle, and nobody's talking about the state of the United States and where we going. That's kind of disturbing to me. And having all these people, all these numbers, 25,000 people liking it or watching, and that's fine. But what about what's going on, in our country, and what about getting out there to vote to change this? I mean, it's no other way you're going to change it, because the messaging is not getting to who it should get to. I don't know, maybe it's not strong enough, or the people just don't want to hear it. But vote is the only thing that's going to, well, not the only thing, but one of the major things that can turn this stuff around and bring us back to reality. Because right now we out there in another world. I think an alternate world, like you used to see in the comic books. Superman, they used to be in alternate worlds where you have one Superman here. I know that's crazy, but that's what it seems like. It's just unbelievable. So I guess you have to have solutions. You have to have solutions.
I have a question I need y'all help with, based on what you're talking about, the voting. and I know y'all watch some of the same shows that I watch, and I'm asking this question because I need help because I have to go and cuss out a lot of people later on today. I don't understand, and I like y'all to help me. And I know y'all seen these interviews with all these black men that have this issue with voting, and the reasons they give for not voting for Biden or not wanting to vote are ridiculous. And you know what they've done with these black college campuses. They go to the black college campus, they find these kids that makes the most asinine statements in the world. I need y'all help. Give me some insight. Give me what some of your opinions as to why these some of our people, our own people, cannot tell the difference between the devil and a decent human being.
Because the devil is good. He's good at lying. You know how they say the term, the devil is a liar, and he's
That's
good
right.
at it. He's good at it. He can change his face. He can look like your parents. He can look like your roommate. He can look like whatever he wants to look like in order to convince you whatever he wants to convince you of.
But he's an ugly devil.
But you don't have to believe him.
Mr. Orange, and he lies and whines. As a man, you don't go on TV every day and whine. That's what he whines every day. He whines about this, he whines about that, and then he asks you for money.
But that's going to happen. He's going to do that. He's going to do that, Lewis, and that's going to happen. You can't stop it from doing that. What you need to do is to learn how to think for yourself.
They're not thinking. That's my question. They're not thinking for themselves. They are going with the propaganda that's been presented to them. But what these black nationalists who go on these college campuses, and I've been there with them. I've been in these battles with these people. These black nationalists go on these campuses, and they always say, "What have Democrats done for you?" And that's all they do. They don't even talk a lot. They just throw out some crap, and it sticks to these young people. And I'm saying I don't understand. That's why I'm asking y'all. I do not understand how an African American who have seen what goes on to this country, George Floyd, Rodney King, and all the other horrible beatings we have seen on TV, how you going to come up here and they throw some crap at you, and you cannot tell the difference between the man who tried to get the Central Park 5 in prison.
Okay, give us a chance to answer the question. Give us a chance to answer the question.
Okay, so I'll start off with, yes, there are some weak-minded, ill-informed young kids, and they're impressionable. And so you pry on them, you prey on them. And so you can always get them and throw out some crap. And the only thing they get their news is from TikTok or they see the streaming of Fox and whatever, and they believe this stuff without doing their own research. And it is a shame that they're in college doing this. I watched President Biden give this great speech at Morehouse yesterday, and some of them kids, there was a handful of them in the news.
Turn their back.
Always, they turn their backs, and one stood up there like this, and his back out there with his Palestinian flag on his back. And I bet you, and I wish he would come on here and just call and then chime in on here and let me hear what if he has any knowledge, which I bet he doesn't have 5 cents worth of knowledge on the actions that are happening over there or the events of how we got there. And he's just taking this issue that he thinks there's genocide from the Palestinians at the hands of Israel. But he has no clue on how it happened and how we got here and how it can be fixed. You know, we're a third country in this battle per se, but this is a war that Israel is taking over, is a war what they have. They are a sovereign country. They are so their president, Netanyahu, or prime minister, whatever, can do whatever he wants, even though he has the support of the American people. And so there's young kids that are protesting. And I think it was last year where I can't think of the guy's name, a brother came out and forgave all the student debt for the entire Morehouse graduates. I wish he would have been there and would have came in and says, I am forgiving all the debt for all these graduates, except for the guy, and point to the guy that's back there with his fist up, and all the guys were turning their backs.
That would have been nice.
That would have been perfect. And then furthermore, I am going to give Morehouse and the rest of these HBCU schools a donation for the money I'm saving by not giving those folks, the ill-informed folks, that I'm just going to give their cut to somebody else. And I'll bet you them kids would have just turned around and said, oh, Lord, have mercy. And matter of fact, if I was their parents, they wouldn't come after graduation. They'd have showed up to the restaurant there and they'd have been by themselves.
I would want them, while they're turning their back to that issue, I hope they're facing what's happening right here in the United States.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, so that's what you want to ask them. Okay, so you're turning your back to that one issue. Okay, go ahead. But what are you doing about what's going on probably in your neighborhood right now or in the United States? Are you watching what's happening in Congress right now? Because that's what's going to affect you, you know, and I can see you having compassion about everything going on over there, but some things we don't have control over. But here you can control some things.
Yep. Yeah.
So while you turn your back to that, I hope you're looking towards doing something right here. That's what I would tell them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, you know, I also say is you talked about, made the statement saying all these black folks coming, black nationalists coming out and says, I'm not going to vote. And I believe it was Cardi B said she is not going to vote.
Yeah.
That should tell you that any young person that buys one of her streaming services, that goes down whatever you kids buy her records and stuff like that on the internet or going whatever, buying it, boycott her, because she does not care about you. She only wants you for your money. She is actually helping you go back into slavery where you won't have money to buy her records and stuff like that. Shun her out. Block her on Facebook, block her on whatever you TikTok or whatever you do, but she doesn't need to be supported by a Black America. Anyone,
if you won't support them, she wouldn't even be. Nobody would be listening to her.
Exactly.
And that's the point. That's the point I'm making. All these people got these millions of people listening to them because of their music, and then they're making these political statements. And all I'm asking, okay, while you listening to Cardi B making those political statements, make sure you tune into some of the shows where you have people that are well versed in politics. You know, or maybe if you're in college, you got professors there that or you got people that study human behavior. If you want to know why people do the things you do, you know, listening to, and I'm not saying that a rapper or a musician doesn't have valid points that they can make, but when you have that many people, you know, you have to be more responsible, because I don't believe she knows. You know, she just says, I don't vote. You ask her why, and she can't intelligently give you a reason why she's telling people not to vote, except something off the wall crazy.
Yeah, that whoever took that statement down and says when she made that statement, nobody challenged her. Nobody took it to the second and third degree effects. If I was a reporter and she says I'm not going to vote, or I'm going to vote for the comrade Trump, I would challenge them and say why. And when they got that off the wall thing, you take it back, peel back the onions and say, and then challenge them and actually get a truthful answer until they come back and say the real answer is that you are stupid. You are stupid.
And when Lewis speaks, he's challenged all the time, but that's a good thing too. If you're challenged, long as you can respond, you know, in a way that makes sense.
But you know what the colonel was saying? They don't never go to the next question. They don't, like you say, why are you not doing it? Give me the details. they never go to the next question. They just let them make a statement like that, or I'm not voting for this reason, or I'm not voting for that reason, but they never go to the next station. It's always like they let them off the hook by making foolish statements, which is one of the things that I was talking about when they because I know y'all saw the piece on the MSNBC when they went to Georgia, and they had these three people on two was black and one was white. And the guy still was saying he identifies with Trump because of his criminality. I mean,
criminal record. Yes.
Yes. I mean, please, you identifying with somebody, and this is what I can't understand, Slim. I don't understand how you identifying with somebody who goes to the bathroom on gold toilet stools, someone who is evading every law, insulting every judge that he's been to. You do that and see what happened to you. And you're going to identify with somebody like that? You're going to identify with somebody who flies in jets? You're going to identify with somebody who even before he became president was driven everywhere? You're going to identify with somebody who never goes to church, who the golf course is his cathedral? You're going to identify with somebody who have never in his life been into a supermarket to buy anything. Trump don't even know the price of bread. They asked him the question. He didn't even know the price of bread. He said, what is it, like $4? He don't know what a dozen of eggs cost. Donald Trump has never been in a supermarket except for a photo shoot. He don't know anything. And you're going to identify yourself. And that's why I asked that's why I said these reporters don't go to the next stage. How can you identify with him, young man, a man who don't do anything that you have been through your own life? How can you identify with this person? And that's why I'm saying again, I don't understand how an African American can look at this whining crybaby orange Jesus and you identify with this fool, and you can't tell me as a black man why you voting for this food, why you think this food is worthy of your attention. It can't get to me. Like I said, my brain will not go to that level of stupidity when you got a criminal. You have a criminal with 80, how would you say, Colonel? 88 now. They took away 4 of them. 88 counts. You be a black man with 2 counts against you. 2 counts against you. And see what happens. Matter of fact, don't even go to criminal court. Go to traffic court. And you talk to a judge the way Donald Trump has. I want you to do it, black man. I want you to do that. I want you to go to traffic court and tell the judge, I ain't paying this damn ticket, and see what happened to you.
Yeah. Leah, let me ask you this, as black women, because you see all these polls and everything, and I don't know how many black women they poll, how do you feel? Do you think the black women are going to show up like they did before? Because especially with, the black women are the ones that usually are harmed mostly, doing childbirth and medical things, or not believed when they tell their doctor, something is going wrong. Oh no, you'll be okay. And next thing you know, they're in the hospital. You think the black women are still going to be a force? We're going to need them because, you just hearing about the black men, all these black men who supposedly be turning to Trump. Well, what about the black female?
Black women always come through. We have been the savior for this country, and as far
in more
back
ways than one.
We're always the ones
Amen
who
to
come
that.
through to save this country. And I'm thinking, in light of what's taking place with women's freedoms being taken away, with the mortality rate for black women in childbirth. So many factors are in place. I'm thinking that the women are going to step up to the plate. We're not caught off by Cardi B. We're not caught off by trying to identify with somebody who has gone to jail or somebody who's selling some golden sneakers. The black women have to deal with reality. I'm sorry. We got to deal with reality 24/7 and don't have time to deal with the foolishness that's going on in the political world, and we saw that recently in the confrontation between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Representative Clover. She took her on. You don't take a sister on unless you're ready. Unless you're ready for a fight.
I love it.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene gave it right back to her. Gave it back to her harder than she could ever expect. She and my girl from New York, said, "Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on." Yep. You don't come after people of color like that. Sisters don't play like that.
You don't play the dozens with us.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that well. So I'm thinking that really once we can settle down from all of the foolishness and facts start flowing once again, I'm sure that Black women once again would be the ones who will come to save this country. I really do.
I hope so.
Good point, because they've done it before, and the fact that we consider Black women resilient, all the things we talk about, all the things we as a race been through, but think about what the Black woman has been through, as a part of that, even more so than us as males. And the women has always been in the background and probably doing the yeoman's work,
making things right.
Making things right. That's I'm just wondering when some of them Black women can get to some. Well, a lot of those guys that are voting for Trump don't have Black women.
Exactly.
You're right.
If you look at it,
ain't no way I can come home.
Let me say this quick thing about the Black women, and I'm glad you brought that up. Is that what you say a lot of these young men coming from homes but they don't have that kind of a woman who will slap them upside the head? That's what we need. We need to have like 1 million Black women next to about a million Black men, and when every time they say something stupid, slap them upside the head. You gonna vote for him for what? Because of this, boy, don't you know that stupid? Slap them upside the head. We need to have a nationwide slapping upside the head from these strong Black women.
They don't have to slap upside the head. Have a nationwide holdout. And you know what I'm talking about.
I'm all for that. That's what we should do.
Just hold out, Black women. See what
I love that. I love that woman in Texas. I love Jasmine Crockett. She ain't playing.
Don't play with Jasmine.
Yeah, I mean, she wouldn't have come out like that if she wasn't, and because it's against the quorum to attack somebody personally, and see, even something to, say something about the lashes. And before she said that, the questions she was asking had nothing to do with what they were there for. Nothing.
She has no brains at all. This lady,
so she got exactly what she asked for. Now that's all over. The bleach blonde. What is it? Bleach blonde, bad built,
bad body.
She'll never live that down.
Yeah.
Never. And everybody wears lashes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing went viral all over, right? And I sent you the thing with Tennessee Brando. I love that white man. Tennessee Brando, I said, it's the greatest song ever made. My wife was sitting with me, listen to me. You gonna listen to that song again? I think I listened to it 8 times.
I watch him a lot, and just seeing it coming from somebody you wouldn't expect it to come from, the way he attacks what's going on. It's just common sense. He looks like somebody from down south, that would be a Trumper. But
that's right.
Common sense just takes over the way, you can't, judge a book by its cover, but he comes out and I listen to him.
What's his name again?
Tennessee Brando.
Tennessee Brando.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is look up Tennessee Brando, and everything will come up on him. Tennessee Brando, and it's the best. I said to the Slim, so he already had it. It is the best song I said that ever been written, and I love it. And he gives great points. If this white man from that part of the South can see so clearly into the orange devil. I don't understand how an African American who'd have been through what we've been through to this country cannot see as clear. All African Americans should be seeing this thing as clear as day. I can see clearly now because the sun is shining. You know, come on, black people, wake up.
That's definitely true. And we've gotten to the 7:30 hour, and with this open mic, and of course we appreciate everybody's comments, and it's an ongoing conversation we have to have. If we have to come up here as much as we can in between having our guests and sharing other information, just get to somebody. We know most of the people that watch us think like we do, but we keep doing it so maybe they'll talk to other people or share what we are doing here to people that might not exactly think like we do, or on the fence, or thinking about not voting. You know, that's going to be crucial. And we'll have a whole topic about this, especially here in our city, you know, Portsmouth Coffee Talk, our city in Hampton Roads. But we'll have that opportunity to talk about the city of Portsmouth, which is important to make sure we do the right thing here, starting here locally, and work our way up to the national scene. But anyway, thanks. Any last comments from any of our guests before we sign off today?
No, I just want to say,
yeah,
vote,
I think that we burned the electrons out today.
yes.
The Republicans are smoking now. They're burning up as they listen to this.
Yeah, I wanted to say before I leave, again, I always appreciate it when you give me the call. I will always say yes. I can tell you that right now. But before we close off, Slim, I want to give you so much credit for all the subjects that you've been introducing in the last couple of weeks. The subject that you have been bringing up, from mental health to the brother in Liberia, I mean, you've been hitting it fast and furious. I was saying, by the time I watch one, you're on the next one. You're doing a great job in bringing enlightenment to not only to the city, but the other people who are watching your show. And I want to give you, I mean, I cannot give you enough credit for these powerful subjects that you are bringing up on your program. And I'm going to tell you, I got Colonel, I'm giving him my best salute.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. And it's a collective effort. You know, the co-hosts bring everything to this show, especially Leah and the Colonel with their extensive travels, and you know, I'm learning from them every day. So it's a collective effort here. What we do here is a combination of all of us coming together and bringing different subjects and things like that. And we've been doing it for a while now. We appreciate each other. That's one thing. We appreciate and respect each other. And you know, sometimes, not often, sometimes we don't agree, but most of the time we pretty much agree on most things. But the goal is, like I always say, is to share information that might help somebody or might make you think or open your eyes. So it's a collective effort. But thank you. And thank you for being a guest host and coming in from time to time and giving and holding back the cussing. We appreciate that.
It's my honor to be here. But again, don't take the credit, my brother. You're doing a great job.
Okay. All right. And Leo, you were saying something? I'm sorry.
No, all I said is vote.
Oh, okay.
Vote.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
So we're
Go upside the head now. Go upside the head when you hear somebody say something stupid. Slap them upside the head.
He's creating violence there, but you know, like I say, hold out. That's most effective. Okay, everybody, thanks a lot. We appreciate you, and remember to like, subscribe, share, and you see scrolling across the bottom how you can support us in many different ways, and we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you this Thursday.
All right.
Y'all take care now.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
one.
Bye-bye.
Good night.